Well, welcome back to the start of Game 2. After watching that rout and back in Game 1, the Seahawks are looking to repeat their successes on the field. And our success is riding with the starter for today's game, Nicholas Santo, who came off just a phenomenal performance in his last outing of the year in which he came in relief against Mitchell College. He relieved Nick Colano, and he just pounded the strike zone with his cutter, curveball, and fastball. So we're looking to repeat that success again today in Game 2 of this doubleheader against Clark University. This is Niall Sermon, joined alongside by Mike Pizzi. What are we looking for today out of Nicholas Santo?
Yeah, great to be back here, Niall. Last time out, Santo gave us some really good length. He's looking to do the same thing today. This is his first start of the year, so let's see if he can make the most out of it.
Yeah, we're certainly looking for him to be able to mix his three pitches, his cutter that moves like a slider, along with his fastball and his curveball, and he's using his fastball well here today, as we just saw. He evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That cutter's got some great horizontal movement to it. Super deceptive to a hitter, especially because it looks like a four-seamer and then just catches the zone at the last second.
And he used his fastball in the other half there. Duran, the batter at the plate, actually thought that he had strike 3 called against him. But it's called for a ball, so it's a 3-2 pitch, and here it is, and the curveball is up above the zone, so a leadoff walk is how this game will start.
Yeah, one thing Santo did extremely well in his last appearance, as Niall, you said before, he pounded the zone extremely effectively. Leadoff walk here to start his day, so he's looking to turn that around, see if he can get a ground ball. Seahawks are playing double play death.
Good pitch there from Santo. Curveball breaks. Started upper half. Called for a strike slider. Pardon me, curveball. A lefty here at the plate. And another curveball, and again getting him to swing over the top of it. So Santo quickly up in the count 0-2. This right here, as Mike will tell us. But the starting lineup today is very similar. Jared Beniers is starting in center field for this game. This one popped, fouled back. Then Arusso over at second. He retakes from Platt, who relieved him back at the end of Game 1. McCarthy still starting over at third, with Dustin Cicada rounding off the rest of the left side of the infield. D'Amato's in left field, and in right field is Tyler Petrosino, Dylan Ketch, and Tyler Canoe playing catcher and first base respectively.
See Clark University really respecting the arm of Dylan Ketch there.
Yeah, for sure. They had him going and just had him shut it down once they saw that the ball was not put in play. They shut it down. Here's Santo. Again, the 2-strike pitch, and again it's the curveball. Got him swinging over the top of it, and that will give Santo his first out and strikeout of the game. And now he's just one pitch away from ending this inning.
Here's Chris Radovich. Chris Radovic, excuse me. He was not in the lineup last game.
First pitch to him was a curveball. He swung over the top of it. Another good pitch there from Santo. He elevated the fastball, left it above the numbers. Batter holds off of it. Count moves 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll see if he goes to the cutter here. He does. Hit ground ball left side, but foul. When McCarthy gave chase. Just a few ticks foul of the third base bag.
Radovic with 7 home runs on the year, so he's got some pop.
Yeah, Radovic has been that guy for the Cougars. Leads the team in home runs, leads the team in slugging. Benarusso shifted. He's playing well up the middle. And now this curveball just misses up in the zone. And the count evens itself up. 2 balls and 2 strikes after that curveball missed. McCarthy shifted well over the third base bag. And he got strikeout number 2. Nick Santo, another curveball to get the strikeout. So he is back-to-back Ks to get his first 2 outs of his first start.
Both swinging. Seems like he's really got that swing and miss stuff going today.
And while the curveball has been generating swing and misses, as we've seen so far in this first inning, his cutter is also working for him. He's used it twice. It's been successful both times. And his fastball is really never a problem. There's the cutter again, gets the strike. As you said, he's looking to repeat the success that he saw in his last outing, in which he was the definition of mixing pitches, just as he does again here. Great cutter. A little bit of three-dimensional depth to it. That could have been the curveball. Generally, his curveball bites a bit harder than that.
Yeah. Here's C.J. Johnson.
Nonetheless, it's 2 strikes on him. No balls, 2 strikes. Santo has his set. 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. So he strikes out back-to-back-to-back via the curveball, all swinging. And now we head to the bottom half of the first inning, all tied up. Nicholas Santo, good start to game 2. And welcome back to the bottom half of the first inning here in Game 2 of this doubleheader against the Cougars coming from Worcester. Shout out to the Red Sox. First pitch to Matt D'Amato, who's the leadoff batter yet again here in Game 2, is called for a strike on the inner half. D'Amato seems to be getting a few of those so far today. Oh, big swing and miss there from Matt D'Amato.
There's a healthy hack there. On the mound for Clark University is Heath Cockburn. He's 1-2 on the year with a 6.75 ERA through 9 innings. Looking to have a bounce-back start as D'Amato fouls this one off to the offside.
Yeah, for the confidence, because this squad here, Clark University, had a really good start to the year. Started off the year 11-5, have dropped back to 16-16. 16-17 after game 1 against Salve. So they're certainly looking to produce a little bit of momentum to end off the conference season so they can maybe give themselves a shot at some NCAA regionals via winning the conference tournament. Obviously, that starts here and now. And Heath Cockburn is going to be a big part of that. They don't have that many guys that have been delivering innings on a consistent basis. It's more been a rotation of guys that they go to for big spots. It's not like we're big pitch to Matt D'Amato, fouled off. It's not like the Seahawks who have Dom Parachi, who's starting every time he's available, Patrick Maybach, who's starting every time he's available, and Braden Clark, who's starting every time he's available. Clark University doesn't operate that way, and so they have a lot of guys that they kind of need to rely on, Cockburn being one of them. His day starts off well. He strikes out Matamano looking.
There's another 12-6 curveball for you. Another vertical guy, and he catches D'Amato looking there. Here's Dustin. Cicada.
Yeah, being a vertical guy basically means that you're releasing the ball. I mean, you can imagine it, right? If there's a submarine guy who's releasing it from a lower half of his body, that's what's considered to be a horizontal guy. And they'll be throwing pitches that are breaking not like a 12-6. When you're a vertical guy, your release point is more up top and out front. And so when you throw that curveball, it's the more traditional 12-6 breaking ball. The thing is, the Seahawks had the chance to see it because 2 pitchers from last game were showing the 12-6. So they have a bit of reference to go off of as they look at Heath Cockburn, because there doesn't appear to be too much of a difference between the 12-6 that he's throwing versus the 2 in the previous game that were throwing it as well. And their names are evading me, so I can't exactly tell you which pitchers they are at this present moment.
Yeah, absolutely. As Dustin gets drilled in the shoulder, it seems like. And he takes first base.
And with Dustin Cicada on first base, that brings up number 14, the catcher and the captain, Dylan Ketch. Yeah, both Holfacker and Bonini were 12-6 curveball guys. So the Seahawks have had a chance to see a few innings now, each of them gotten at bat against the 12-6. So they should be able to see it well here in Game 2. Up now is Dylan Ketch. He went 2 for 3 in his last game. Also had a hit by pitch during that time. This one hit hard, center field. Possibly not hit hard enough. There's the center fielder. He's there. He reaches up. He makes the catch. Nice play by the center fielder.
A good piece of hitting by Dylan nonetheless there. Just not the result you want.
Yeah, he barreled it just straight to center field. Probably about 15 to 20 feet off the wall. But he will take a seat.
Nothing to be disappointed about there.
And that brings up Tyler Canu, who had a heck of a day back in Game 1. He was 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored, and he started off all the scoring by scoring the first run in the game after doubling to lead off the inning back in the second.
And that ball was scored, so let's see if he can do something similar here.
First pitch in there for a strike, fastball outer half.
Late call there from the home plate umpire. Definitely caught part of the zone.
And the 0-1 pitch to Canu, swung on, foul back, curveball. Didn't break too much, and that actually worked to the disadvantage of Canu as he was expecting it to break more. He was sitting on the curveball there, but the count is now 0-2. They could send Cicada here.
You know Canu wants that one back. That was a hanger.
Yeah, that one hung more than he thought it would, and he saw it well. Counts 0-2, Will McCarthy on deck. Check over to first, Cicada back safely. And now the 0-2, and it is just off the plate away. Close one. Good eye by Canu. That's twice now. He took that pitch, which he just knows what the zone is, so he's able to lay off that pitch. He also had a curveball back in Game 1 that he laid off of that was low, but it broke through a lot of the plate before it eventually reached the plate low. So good eye for him today. The 1-2 pitch. And that one's up and in. That hits off his helmet. We're going to take a good old look at this.
Sure hope he's okay.
Yeah, based off the way that he's walking, it hit the helmet and not any part of his face. Yeah, he's jogging now. He's going to be fine. That's always concerning anytime you see a ball hit above the shoulders. You're always concerned, but he is very fine.
That's 2 hit batsmen in the inning for Cockburn. Seems like his fastball is just getting away from him.
Yeah, both on the fastball. He's hitting the righties. There goes Cicada. He's taking off for third, and he is going to be there. It's not time called, so wow, I've never seen it. Cicada takes off for third. He's in there. He's sliding. The catcher has a play on it. He throws to third. The throw never gets to third. It hits off Will McCarthy's bat. The catcher threw it off the bat of Will McCarthy. It just ricocheted and went back to the netting, and that is not a time called. It's the catcher's job to avoid the bat. Obviously, you can't swing the bat at the ball as the catcher's releasing it, but that's not what happened. So now we have Tyler Canoe over at second base and Cicada over at third.
So Will swings through that pitch. Certainly a great RBI chance for the 5-hole hitter. He tends to capitalize on these situations.
Yeah, he's one of the better runners in scoring position hitters in the conference. Here he is. This one hit left side. Shortstop there. It's going to be a tough play. Throws first in time, so that'll do it. And that will retire the Seahawk opportunities here in the bottom half of the first inning. 2 men were left on. Both were hit by a pitch. There were no walks and no hits in the first inning. We're headed to the bottom or the top half of the second when we come back. And we are back here in the top half of the second inning. The first pitch from Nick Santo was gorgeous. Curveball, broke in there, got the batter Ham to swing right over the top of it.
Yeah, that swing and miss rate's going through the roof, Nick Santo.
He has really been a valuable part of the recent success on the pitching staff from the Seahawks. He's one of those guys. There's not too many that can really do it. There are a lot of pitchers at every level, including high school, that can throw a ball holding it in different grips that make the ball spin a certain way. But to on the mound in a game, as he gets strike 2 on the curveball, be able to locate 3 different pitches the way that Nick Santo can is not something that anybody can just do. In fact, some of the better pitchers on this team are more 2-pitch guys rather than 3-pitch guys. This one hit hard. Third baseman Will McCarthy there. He fields it, cleanly throws to first base. What a defender he is. Nice play by Will McCarthy. Screaming ground ball. Took him to his right.
Showing off the arm there.
Yeah, showing off the glove and the arm. Nice play by Will McCarthy. But Nick Santo is able to really effectively control 3 different pitches, and that's not an easy thing to do. And it's part of the reason he's been so successful, and a lot of it has to do with how well he's been able to locate his curveball in the last month or so. Good fastball from him there. He gets ahead in the count 0-1.
Here's Ryan Lavelle.
Make it 0-2. Great job, Nick Santo. Fastball there.
Picking apart the corner there. As Clark University has run out an almost entirely different lineup from game 1. Lavelle doing catching for today's game.
Oh, did he go?
Checks his swing.
Yeah, you can't really. That's the tough part about a 2-man crew. It's pretty likely that he went there, but the umpire who would make the decision about whether or not a batter checked his swing or held it back or swung or didn't is over at first base. And for a lefty, you can't see down the line. So he probably went, but he stays in the box. The count's 1-2. And that one is in there for strike 3. Curveball, got him, looking. 2 outs in the inning.
Just a great sequence of pitching there from Nick Santo. He bounces the curveball, then comes back with it on the outside half.
Yeah, exactly right. He really did a good job of just sequencing what he's able to throw between the curveball, the fastball, and the cutter. Excellent work for him. Now there's 2 down. Here he is facing Sullivan. This one hit, chopped. There's McCarthy. He fields cleanly, throws first, close. It is in time for out number 3. Will McCarthy showing off the arm in this inning. That one was another play that just took him right to the third base line, 20 feet behind the bag, maybe 10, and he fires it over on a tough play, and they get out number 3. So Nick Santo is cruising, has retired 6 in a row, and he has 4 strikeouts through 2 innings. We head to the bottom half of the second. Score still 0s apiece. And welcome back to Seahawk Baseball here in the bottom half of the second. We are taking a look at Tyler Petrosino as he squares the bunt. You know, zero pitches so far by Clark University to a Seahawk player who has squared the bunt have been thrown for a strike. There have been at least 6. Tyler Petrosino, Brandon Grover, multiple others. None of them have been for a strike. So I don't really know if they plan on not pitching to bunts, if that's a part of the process, or if it's just they get a little bit shaken up anytime they see a player put it down, but it's a disproportionate amount of balls a strike, although in a small sample size. Nonetheless, it seems as if they might not want to play against the bunt.
That's a great observation, Niall. It seems like, you know, as soon as these Seahawk hitters get on top of the plate with their with the bunt shown, you know, they crowd the plate. So it's hard to throw strikes.
For sure. The count's now 2-1 after that strike to Tyler Petrosino, but now it's 3-1. Pitch up above the zone. You'd always love to see Petro on first base via any way possible because he is a threat to steal every single time he steps on to the base paths. He's now in a 3-1 count. And ball 4, so we will see Petrosino on the base paths. There are no outs, and we have one of our better runners on first base, so we'll see if we get him in motion, especially with the big power hitter of Ryan Gratial.
Gratial started last game as the DH, had 2 RBI singles to start his day, and then struck out, and then he was substituted for Justice Welch.
Gratial had a great start in Game 1. Both of them were just singles where he's not trying to do too much with it when he really can. He can absolutely put a charge into it at any moment, send it over any fence, both the outfield fence and the fences like the one that protects the library. He could hit it over that wall. He could hit it over the hedges in left field, so a lot of power. But he has the wherewithal to stay within himself, go the other way when he has to. Another check back to first, and again, Petrosino is safe. Seems like
Gratial is really starting to find his stride here late in the season.
It's always good when you have a guy like that who can do both. He will. It's possible we see it today where he's sitting on his pitch and he's going to try and hit it a mile. But then he can also go the other way.
So he sits on a curveball there, yanks it foul.
Yeah, that was the type of swing that you are trying to send it a mile with. He barreled it, hit it very hard. It just went foul immediately. A little bit ahead of the curveball. No shift for the
0-1.
defense. Everybody playing just about straight away. Count is 0-1. There goes Petro. Outside, and he gets past the catcher. Petro will take a look at third, stay at second.
As Petrosino is credited with the stolen base.
Runner now at second base with nobody out. One count to Gratial. A little bit of a hole up the middle, not much anywhere. There goes the ball past the catcher. Petro almost takes off, does not. Ball did not really get away from the catcher all that much, but now Gratial finds himself in a hitter's count.
Yeah, great read there by Petrosino. He realized the ball was getting away, so he took a couple extra steps past his secondary lead and then proceeded to stop as the catcher found the ball. It's a high IQ play there.
2-1 count. Pitcher has his set, checks back to Petro. Petro has room and will take off. Ball gets past the catcher and out of play. So Petrosino now stands on third base with nobody out.
Some smart base running.
Count also 3-1 to Gratial at the plate. Obviously, first and third with nobody out is exactly what the Seahawks would like to see. Back in the third inning of last game was when they went off, and they started that inning with first and third, nobody out. This one hit right side, but foul.
Big hack there from Ryan Gratial in a hitter's count, 3-1. Now he sits with a full count. Oh, excuse me, 2-2. It is 3-2. Scoreboard threw me off. My apologies.
Here it is. Pitcher has his set, fires home. Gratial there, swung on a hit left side. Down for extra bases as it rolls out of play. So a ground roll double for Ryan Gratial. And once again, his first at-bat of the day is a run-producing hit. He stands on second base. He now has 3 hits in today's eventful doubleheader. And that right there is the 14th run the Seahawks have scored this today. 14 runs is the amount of runs we have scored. That is extra base hit number 2. Very, very team-oriented baseball being played today. And nobody loved to see on second base more than Ryan Gratial. He has been working very hard to find his swing, and he is really feeling it now.
Picking up right where he left off. Russo takes a curveball for a strike there. 0-1.
Russo had 1 hit in the first game of today's ball game, which keeps his average neutral. 1 for 2, 500. You would think, oh, that's going to get the average up. Well, not exactly. Russo is used to hitting 500. Nonetheless, Ryan Gratial on second. He hits right side. Russo grounds out. Second baseman's there, throws to first. Very athletic play by the first baseman to stay on the bag as he made the catch. Throw from the second baseman was errant. Took him off the bag, but only after he had made the catch. But what I was saying about Gratial, the first RBI of the game is pivotal. It's not like RBI, let's say 17. RBI 17 is like, yes, you still did the job of driving the run home, and there's a ton of applause that goes along with that, and it's a very, very great job. Anytime anybody hits a baseball to score another run, great job. But the first run of the game is pivotal. And so great job for Ryan Gratial of driving in the first run of the game, the all-important first run of the game. Foul ball there off the bat of Jared Beniers, who was attempting to bunt. First strike thrown against a bunt attempt.
That was a suicide squeeze. But as you said, Niall, it's extremely important to score the first run of the game, especially in the second inning. It really sets the tone, especially for your starting pitcher who's going to go out there and give you some quality innings.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's for the starting pitcher that it matters more, because now as Nicholas Santo gets a little bit freed up, and if they can get him 2 runs, it really frees him up. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Beniers, well upstairs.
Bounced right out of the glove.
Count evens up, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Cockburn looking to escape this second inning without too much damage.
If he's looking for a strikeout here, that's basically his only way out because the infield is playing back. A ground ball scores a run. Uh-oh. Big problem here. It was a suicide squeeze, but Gratial gets back. Really, really, really good job by Ryan Gratial. Jared Beniers had a suicide squeeze. Suicide squeeze, again, is when you are laying that bunt down and you have to, the job is, what a suicide squeeze is supposed to be, is you are being told, get this bunt down no matter what or foul it off because we are sending the runner from third. He's stealing. Beniers wasn't able to get the bunt down, and basically Gratial was hung up about halfway between third base and home, but he got back to third safely, which is a lot. That's a big feat. So the count's 2-1. And that's a difference maker. It was a race. It was a foot race between Ryan Gratial and the third baseman for the Cougars from Clark College, and Ryan Gratial won that race. About a 40-foot race, by the way. This one hit right side. That will score a run. So an RBI for Beniers. Second baseman picks it up, not cleanly, but still fields it and throws Beniers out at first base. So now we have 2 runs on the board here in the bottom half of the second.
Some exemplary team baseball here by the Seahawks as Veneruso moves Gratial over from second to third, and then Beniers does the exact same thing and moves him home. 2-0.
You can't ask for more than that. And once again, I'll go back to Ryan Gratial and how pivotal it was that he won the race with the third baseman, because otherwise that would have just been an inning-ending ground out, good for it wouldn't have been worth anything. But instead, that's a huge second RBI of the game. So it's just a game changer that he ended up winning that that race back to the third base bag. And that does bring up the leadoff hitter, Matt D'Amato.
That's Cockburn misses low, 2-0.
D'Amato reached base 3 times back in game 1. Scored all 3 times. Oh, and he gets hit by another pitch. So yet again, Matt D'Amato finds himself on first base, and yet again it did not come via the base hit. So walks and 3 hit by pitches to go along with just 1 base hit. That was the double by Ryan Gratial, have been the offense today. So 1 hit, it was the double, and 2 runs. Up now, the 2-hitter. It's the shortstop and our captain, Dustin Cicada. And there goes the leadoff hitter. This one hit left center field. It's going to be down. It's going to be possibly extra bases. There goes D'Amato. They might send him. They will send him. It's going to be a plate. The plate is going to be close. And he will score standing up. So an RBI double for the shortstop. And our captain, Dustin Cicada, now 3-0. Misplayed a little bit by the outfielder and the shortstop. They missed the cut, and that allowed for Matt D'Amato, who was flying around third base. He would have scored regardless because of how fast he was running, but there wasn't even a play at the plate because the cutoff was not performed to perfection.
Yeah, once again, some great base running. First to home on a Cicada double. Now here's catch.
Fastball starts off the count in there for strike 1. Yeah, that ball wasn't hit to the wall. That was hit into the gap, but it was just in between left and center field. It wasn't to the wall. So for D'Amato to score all the way from first, not exactly what – you don't draw it up like that. You don't expect a runner to score from first on a ball that's hit just in between left and center field. Good job by D'Amato. Now the count on catch is 0-2.
Seahawks now 2 hits. Both doubles, both RBI doubles.
2 strikes, 2 outs, no balls in the count. Good hold by Catch. He fired all of his body except for his hands on that pitch, was able to keep his hands back. Count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And that's what you call an active take now.
Exactly right. Cicada playing on second, got a little bit of room. He's dancing. 1-2 pitch to catch, well inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count now.
Seems like Cockburn is attacking catch inside. Seemed to get that fastball right underneath his hands, jam him up.
We'll see what he's able to work with here. I wouldn't go inside the catch again. He's seen 4 just in this at-bat on the inner half. Tough spot for Cockburn. The 2-2 pitch, swung on, hit up the middle. Second baseman, he's there. Nice play. Throws first, and it's in time. So a great play by the second baseman to retire catch, and that'll do it for the bottom half of the second inning. But the Seahawks score 3, highlighted by the doubles by Dustin Cicada and Ryan Gratial. The top half of the third is coming up when we come back. And welcome back to Seahawk Baseball. Niall Soman joined alongside Mike Pizzi. Watching Nick Santo back out on the mound to go out there against 8-9-1 of this Cougar offense. Great curveball again. So now Santo ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. His curveball has been good for a decent amount of time now. I'm talking about weeks. Really sharp. He continues to show it. 1-2 count. Veneruso moves in. Fastball in the inner half. Not called for a strike. It was a bit low. Now the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one hit high, right side, but foul. Canu is there. He has room. He reaches up and he makes the catch as he runs down the hill on the right side in the right field foul territory, where if you've been here before, you know that the grass gradually goes downgrade. So he's running down a hill, still able to keep his focus, eye on the ball, and he makes the catch. Now the 9 batter up, Jones. And the first pitch to him is down low.
Yeah, one of the most unique aspects of Brother Reynolds Field is that area behind first base in foul territory. That's just a great play there by Tyler Canu.
This one chopped, hit, third base side. McCarthy there is going to be a tough play. Throws on the run in time. Another great play by Will McCarthy at third base as he charges in. Fields it on the run, full sprint, moves it to his throw hand, and fires it in time to get out number 2. So the 9-hitter retired, 5-3. Now there are 2 outs. A quick 2 outs for Nick Santo here in the top half of the third.
Here's the leadoff hitter, Carter Duran. Santo misses just outside with the curveball.
This one in there for a strike. He fouls it off. It's a curveball again. Santo been very sharp, as I've said, but I'll continue to say it. It really is impressive the way that he's able to mix all three of his pitches in any count. He's throwing them all really well. 1-1 pitch, swung on, fouled off again. There was the cutter. Great time for the cutter. Looked just like the fastball. Had me fooled. I know it had the batter fooled. He was way late, just got a piece of it. Now the count's 1-2, and Nick Santo is one pitch away from getting out of this inning in 1-2-3 fashion. Santo kicks, delivers, 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike three, got him swinging, and now Nick Santo has sat down 9 in a row. The bottom half of the third inning is coming up. When we come back, the score is the Seahawks on top, 3-0. And welcome back to Brother Reynolds Field here in the beautiful, the one and the only Newport, Rhode Island. This is now Silverman joined alongside Mike Pizzi, and we are watching Tyler Canoe step up to the plate.
Yeah, new pitcher on for Clark University. It's Jose Mencia, number 34. Has given up a run through 3 innings.
And the first pitch to Canoe from the new pitcher, the lefty. Outside and away, so ball 1. Now, the thing about Mencia, he does have a 0.00 ERA. In his 3 innings of work, he has allowed a grand total of 0 runs. However, he does have an equal amount of walks to innings pitched, and that can be detrimental. Now he's in the 1-0 pitch here. Step, throw, fired, swung on, hit very high. Could be a tough play. In comes the center fielder, calls everybody off. He reaches up, and he makes the catch. So 1 out, and that retires the right-handed hitter, Tyler Canoe.
Yeah, walks can be super detrimental as a relief pitcher, especially, middle of the game when you're already down 3-0. The Seahawk offense really takes advantage of runners on base.
Yeah, when you walk a guy and he's able to get to second, you are now 1 hit away from allowing runs to score, even though you only give up 1 hit, because basically the game of baseball is batter versus pitcher, and a walk it's considered to be a draw, but a draw goes to the batter, and there's a limit on how much time a batter can face a pitcher before you have to get over 4 balls and you get to first. It's kind of a draw. So if you lose to a hitter, as Will McCarthy gets plunked by the curveball, so there's that one free base that Mencia has been giving up per inning. And just like that, we have a runner on first. Now we're 1 hit away from potentially scoring a runner from first. And as I was saying, if you give up 1 hit, that's not particularly all that bad. But if you're giving away free bases, then all of a sudden that base hit becomes a run-scoring opportunity, and that's when problems arise.
That's the 4th Seahawk batter hit this game. As Will seems to be a little shaken up, but seems to be all good now as he takes his lead off first.
Mencia facing Petrosino, the first lefty Mencia has faced. And that one hits him, so back-to-back free bags. So just like that, what we were talking about, free bags potentially coming back to hurt him. And now definitely the Seahawks are 1 base hit away from scoring Will McCarthy, who's over at second base. Out comes the pitching coach. Nobody getting warm in the Cougar bullpen. The thing about free passes is that a pitcher who gives up just 1 hit per inning that's a very good number. I mean, that gets you recruited to go play at a good school. That's a good number. In the major leagues, if you give up 1 hit per inning, you are going to have a job. That's a very good number. The thing is, if that hit comes with runners in scoring position or even runners on base, it can be a run-producing outcome. So when you're a guy like Mencia, who hasn't allowed a run yet, but you have a high, free pass percentage, it can come back to bite you. For reasons like this situation, if Grachel's able to deliver, the shortstop goes to play with Will McCarthy over at second base. McCarthy has a lead, good lead. And Grachel sees ball 1 down in the zone.
Just like you were saying, Niall, I mean, the game of baseball is all about timely hitting. Grachel took advantage of that.
He's certainly looking to do it again. Will McCarthy has wheels. Outfield playing back. Anything that reaches the outfield will certainly score a run. Mencia sets, delivers, and it's outside. And now McCarthy's going to take off for third, and Petrosino takes off for second. So 2 runners in scoring position. And now there are really something to work with. 2 runners in scoring position. The Seahawks are already up 3-0. The infield cutting. So they're playing to throw McCarthy out at the plate. All infielders are even with the infield grass. Mencia steps off. Counts 2-0. Big hitter spot here for Grachel. Whatever pitch Mencia feels comfortable going with, he's going to go to here. If Grachel's sitting on it, he can really put a charge into it. There's the curveball, and it's, called for a strike.
Might have clipped the outside corner there as the Clark bullpen starts to get hot. Mencia is in a little bit of a pickle.
Mencia has his set. Long hold, he kicks, delivers, and that one's well inside, and that got a piece of Grachel. Back to back to back. Seahawks have been hit by a pitch, and now the bases are loaded.
6 hit batters for the Seahawks this game.
Yeah, and there's not ever a situation that getting the bases loaded is a good thing. There are 0 situations where that's ever a good thing. But when Chris Venarusso is the batter you have to face right after you load the bases, you know it's not a good situation. Here's the second baseman and the 9-hole hitter, Chris Venarusso. First pitch to him, although he's hitting in the 8 spot in this game. The first pitch to him above his head. Ball 1. Now here we go. Mencia fires and again upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Canoe flew out on a fly ball to center field on a 1-0 pitch, and after that, it has not been smooth sailing. In fact, quite the opposite for Mencia. 2-0 pitch to Veneruso, and that is outside. So ball 3, 3 balls and no strikes. Veneruso certainly going to be taking here. And for a guy like Mencia, who's struggling to find the strike zone, he's facing Veneruso, who has one of the smaller strike zones on the team, which he absolutely uses to his advantage, and is one of the reasons he has that on-base percentage over the 475 clip, which is out of this world. His on-base, like his on-base is so good, it almost doesn't make sense. It's about half the time, and there we go. On base, Chris Veneruso, as if we didn't see it coming. That's 2 for 2 in today's game. And that brings up the 9-hole hitter in today's game, Jared Beniers. He's in a big spot, loaded bases, 1 out. Already 1 run scored.
That was just a great approach from Chris Veneruso. He knew this pitcher was wild coming in. He chose to stay patient and ultimately reaps the benefit of an RBI and a base on balls there.
He didn't try and do too much, that's for sure. Here's Beniers. First pitch to Beniers outside, and that gets past the catcher, but not too far. Veneruso on first can fly. Ryan Gratial at second.
That's 6 straight balls.
And no pitcher in the Cougar pen for Clark University is truly hot. They're throwing, they're getting themselves ready to go, but they're not ready to go yet. So Mencia is certainly going to face a few more. Beniers will not be his last batter unless this goes a long time.
You'd have to imagine they'd keep him in to face the lefty D'Amato.
One-0 pitch to Beniers. And that is downstairs for ball 2. So now a true hitter's count for Beniers.
And the Seahawks have their 4 runs, only on 2 hits.
Loaded bases in this inning. Already 1 scored, no hits in this inning. Strike in there for Mencia, so that moves the count a little bit closer to neutral. 2 balls, 1 strike. Beniers will have the green light from here on out in this at-bat. So far, it has been hit by pitch, hit by pitch, hit by pitch, and then a walk. This one hit right side, down for a single. There goes Gratial. He's running. He's rounding third. It's going to be no throw to the plate. So a 2 RBI single for number 25. Bingo! How about that one? The 3rd run of the inning comes via the single. He breaks the hitless streak in the inning of batters reaching. So now the 5th batter to reach, Jared Beniers, is the first to do so via a base hit, and it's a 2 RBI base hit, and that takes the Seahawk lead to 6-0. Still only the 1 out. That was the leadoff fly out. 6 straight have reached since then, and now we have our leadoff man, Matt D'Amato. First pitch to him. There goes Beniers. And he'll steal second base without a throw.
Counts 0-1 to D'Amato. And Jared Beniers, I mean, that hit definitely blew the game open.
Changes the complexion anytime you're moving it to a 5+ run difference, because 5+ runs is truly something that you don't see in a game. It's a rarity that 5 runs is scored. 4 runs is 1. I just got out of a stats class, so stay with me. 4 runs is 1 standard deviation away from the upper mean of runs scored. Yes, I wrote a paper on this. I can give it to you next time you see me if you want one. It's 1 standard of deviation away from the upper mean. 5 is 2. So even though it's a run difference, it just doesn't really happen. So getting to that 6-run differential already more than halfway through the game is significant. Only 12 outs left for the Cougars to produce at minimum 6 runs, possibly more. We do have 2 runners in scoring position. And with one of our hottest hitters, Dustin Cicada.
And with the way that Nick Santo is pitching right now, how efficient he is, it's going to be extremely difficult.
Yeah, if he stays in this game mixing his 3 pitches, it's going to be a nightmare for the Cougars.
As it already is.
This one hit right side, but the right fielder is there. He's under it. He reaches up and makes the catch. So that'll do it for the Seahawks here in the bottom half of the score. They plate 3 on just one hit. That came from Jared Beniers, and Bingo drove in 2 RBIs. The score, Seahawks 6, Cougars nothing. Santo rolling. Top of the 4th coming up. And welcome back to the top half of the 4th inning. Nick Santo has been cruising. He's retired the last 9 that he's faced, striking out 5 along the way. He's facing the 2-hitter Caulfield here, but he's got a 6-run lead to play with. First pitch to Caulfield in there for a called strike. Good start to the inning for Santo.
That was Santo's 40th pitch here in the 4th inning.
Both he and Jeffries, great curveball there from Santo. Both he and Jeffries have started off their outings just beyond efficiently. Combined for them through 3 innings apiece, so between the 6 innings that they have combined to pitch, this one hit right side. There's Canoe, and he grabs it and gets it for out number 1. So a line out to Tyler Canoe, gets the first out of the 4th inning. But through 3 innings apiece, or the 6 innings, they combined, Nick Santo and Graham Jeffries combined for 11 strikeouts, allowing 1 base runner, and it was a walk. So a really good start to the day. Both of them doing so on a very, efficient pitch count. Really good start for both of them, especially as they look towards the future and they think about, well, what are we going to do in this situation against, let's say, Endicott. Let's say we're playing Endicott, and it's game 2, and this is the win. And if we win this game, that's the championship right there, the league championship. You know, who are you going to go to? Well, it's a guy you know is going to come out of the pen and throw strikes. And both Graham and Nick Santo have really proved that they can be that guy. And I mean that guy in the proverbial way that kids use it nowadays. That guy. They both have proved they can do that. So, great job by both of them. Santo now up in the count, 1-2.
That cutter really just starts at the hitter's barrel and just.
Yeah, it breaks away from the hitter's barrel as he's trying to get on top of a fastball. The cutter just escapes the barrel. This is Radovic, the right fielder. Radovic is the team leader in home runs. He has 7. He hits this one super hard at Dustin Cicada, who snares it. Out number 2. That one took Cicada to his right, and he just got a glove on it, and that retires Radovic for out number 2.
Some quick reactions by the shortstop, Cicada. Retires Radovic.
You know, Cicada really coming into his own as the shortstop. He was expected at the start of the year to play a grand total of 0 games at the position. It was being held down by Michael Breen, who still owns the number 4 batting average in the league, although he's most likely not going to see another inning of play this season due to the broken wrist. This one popped up right side. Tyler Canoe there. He's calling for it. He's under it. He reaches up, and he makes the catch. So a quick 3 outs here in the top of the 4th, and now Nick Santo has retired 12 in a row after the leadoff walk. So that'll do it for the top half of the fourth, and we are headed to the bottom half with the Seahawks on top, 6-0. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Miles Sermon joined alongside by Mike Petsy. And that brings up another Seahawk who's chasing his first hit of the day, Dylan Ketch. We'll see if he can get it. He has a hit streak, of course, across the season that stretches most of the season. There are a few gaps that break up what would be a consecutive hit streak, but he does find a way to get on base practically every game. We'll see if he's able to do it here. This is his first time facing the lefty, and the first pitch to him is outside and away.
Yeah, Ketch just has a professional approach when he comes up to hit. I mean, that's the first reason why he's the all-time hit leader here at Salve Regina.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that not only has the ability to, but both can and will hit to all fields. So on an inside pitch, you really won't see Ketch go the other way with it. He'll find a place on the right side of the field for him. If a pitch is outside, he's not going to try and pull it, and he'll put that to the left side. So he really is an advanced hitter. That one was outside. He fouled it down the left field line.
Yeah, absolutely, Niall. Part of the professional approach that he brings is he just takes what the pitcher gives him. You know, if it's an outside fastball, he's going to spit on it and hit it the other way.
It's certainly something that you look for in a captain, somebody that's going to stay within an approach and be consistent across the course of the season. And the Seahawks have been lucky enough to have picked some phenomenal captains that have done that. We'll get to some captain talk here in a minute. There are 5 of them. They're all having outstanding years. Here's the pitch to Ketch. This one hit very hard but high. In comes the center fielder. He calls everybody up. He reaches up, and he makes the catch. So Dylan Ketch is retired for the first out of the inning. But our captains this year are Dylan Ketch, who was just at the plate. He was hitting over 340 on the year, which leads all catchers in the CCC, 30 assists on the year, which is out of this world. It really is a number that it will be one of, I haven't done the stats or the research for the entire Northeast, but it probably leads the Northeast. It's a truly impressive number, 30, out of this world. It's third on the team. Crazy. And then we have the shortstop, who's had to fill a huge defensive position in Dustin Cicada. He's filled defensively to perfection, and he's also, since he took over the shortstop job from the ever-hot hitting Michael Breen, he's hitting over 400. So that's how you step up and really apply the next man up mentality. That's one of our captains, Dustin Cicada. Then we have Brandon Grover, who has just been a workhorse all year. This one hit left field, very high, very deep. There's the left fielder. No! Home run, Tyler Canoe. It is out of here, and Tyler Canoe almost thought it was caught, but he does round second, and he has his team leading 8th home run on the high fly ball to left field that had the left fielder jumping but not catching it. He fell over the left field wall, and now Tyler Canoe has his 8th home run of the season, and it's a big one because it takes us to 7 runs. Unbelievable. It just kept going. It just kept going. That had to be the highest launch angle home run of the year. What power in the bat of our first baseman, Tyler Canoe.
Right into the visitors' bullpens.
That's a great way to send the message, hey, we're not done hitting.
As Will McCarthy takes a slider on the inside half of the plate for a strike.
Wow. I mean, it's just impressive to watch Tyler Canoe hit because he didn't square that ball up all the way. That was a ball that he popped up. That was not a true line shot off the barrel. No, he popped that up. But due to the strength of that 6'5" first baseman, it just kept carrying and carrying and carrying until it was all the way out of here. So now the Seahawks have 7 runs on 4 hits. 3 of the 4 have been extra bases.
Now that's what you call some light tower power, Niall.
That is exactly that. Back to the captains. Brandon Grover has been just the Mr. Consistent, hitting both 280 versus lefties and righties. You can't just, put a righty in there or a lefty in there to work against a split. He's going to do it all. He's also one of the stronger guys on the team. And he has a cannon from the outfield. He showed that off a few times, that's for sure. And then on the pitching staff, Tommy Del Vecchio, one of the captains. He's a junior. He's a reliever, and he leads all relievers with a 1.64 ERA. He's also just been a bulldog and a big mentality coach for a lot of the pitchers in this Salve Regina locker room, generally. A big help to a lot of the underclassmen. And then there's, of course, Patrick Maybach, the grad student, who's the all-time strikeout and wins leader. And I heard a story about him the other day as he was helping one of the pitchers on this team work through just a mental kind of frustration he was having applied to pitching. And it was Patrick Maybach who took him aside and had a conversation with him as this one's ripped into left field, possibly for extra bases. Will is going to try and stretch it. It's going to be a close play at second, and he's in there. Double Will McCarthy. So back-to-back extra base hits after being really not all that powerful with the bats early on in the game, really taking advantage of mistakes by the pitchers, but now back-to-back extra base hits. But back to that, after a great double by Will McCarthy, back to the Patrick Maybach story, he takes that pitcher aside and he has a conversation with him just about how he should approach the frustration that comes along with playing baseball and how it's a long season and all that stuff. And it was a really impactful story for that pitcher, and he's now having one of the better seasons he's ever had in his career at any level. So it really is something that only a captain kind of would go out of his way to do, and Patrick Maybach really did that well. He's also obviously a great pitcher. Has a 2.70 ERA on the year, will win all conference awards, to say the least. So all of our captains have been just workhorses this year, on and off the field, and we're lucky to have it because it's part of the reason the Seahawks are now 23-9-2, possibly 24-9-2 after today's game. You can't have a good season without a strong leadership group, and the Seahawks certainly have that. Up now to Tyler Petrosino. What have you seen in this at-bat, Mike?
Yeah, Petro just took a inside half, fastball for a strike. Now it's 1-1.
We'll see what Petro does. If he stays inside on the ball, he could possibly drive it to the gap that's left on the left side of the field. Obviously, Petro sees that. He's not a guy that really is a straightaway right field guy, although they are playing him like that.
That one just clips the inside corner for another strike. Counts now 1-2. But the story being written in this game is very contradictory to the story being written in the first game. We had 13 singles as opposed to our 5 extra base hits here and only 1 single.
It's almost like it's timely hitting the Seahawks have figured out. They needed the extra base hits here in this inning, and they're getting them. This one hit the right side, and this is back to that team baseball approach. Throws over to first, and that will tire Petrosino. But we get a runner on third with 2 outs.
And Chris Veneruso stepping up to the plate. Oh, excuse me, Ryan Gratial.
We'll see with 2 outs here if Ryan Gratial decides that he's strictly going to sit on a pitch that he wants and he's going to drive a ball to left field and try and pull something out of this park. Because Ryan Gratial in the first game and in this game has had RBIs. He had the first RBI this game. But he's been playing just good baseball. We'll see if he tries to drive a ball here.
Yeah, not only is he just playing good baseball with a good mental approach, but he's just seeing the ball so well right now.
He really is. And I think it's important to go back because we didn't – the game is now 7-0, and we'll be headed to, I guess, the final 3 frames for the Cougars coming up. 7 runs is very tough to attain. But back in the earlier part of this game, obviously, we didn't have that many runs on the board, and Ryan Gratial had that race back to the bag when we were only up by 1 run, and he beat a third baseman in a foot race back to the third base bag. He ended up scoring, and that was huge because if he gets out there – basically Beniers' ground out to second base wouldn't have produced the RBI, and then we wouldn't have continued that success and scored more runs in that inning. And so that would have strictly been a 1-0 game headed into the 3rd inning. Instead, it's 7-0 in the 4th, and there's not really enough you can say about how well Ryan Gratial has been playing today, both on the base paths and with the bat in his hand. He takes another ball there, and he's on first base. We'll see what Venaruso is able to do. As he has now the dugout of Salve Regina singing along to his walk-up song. You do love to see that.
Certainly the most unique walk-up song on the team.
Oh, he swings. Hit left field. Oh, foul. Ripped it to left field. But it just clipped the outside part of the line. So it will be strike 1 on Chris Venaruso. Mr. Ed Habershaw, who sits near us, has claimed this song to be one of the best. And he has been here for enough time to really have a say on this. One of the best all-time walk-up songs in the history of Salve Regina baseball. I wish you could hear. I wish he was on the mic. One of the funniest things I've heard today. I don't even know how I could repeat it. It was as if he had practiced the voice before. It's now 1-1. Here's Chris Venaruso looking to drive to the middle, a bit of a gap in left center. Oh, but he gets plunked and he's down. You hate to see that.
He gets hit on the shin. Gets right up.
He's going to stay in the game. He jogs on down to first base, but that one has to hurt. That was bone that it hit. Hopefully it was below the knee.
That is the 7th Salve Regina hitter hit by a pitch today. In this game,
it looks like first base coach Stephen Phillips is calling for time. He's not going to get it. Chris Venaruso will stay in the game.
2 in the first game, so 9 total.
9 total hits batsmen so far today in the combined 11 innings of work for the Salve Regina hitters. So
that has to be a school record, right?
Going to be close, that's to say the least. Although this team is used to it. We are top 25 in hit by pitches. After today's game, we'll move up there, and it's probably the top 15. It's never a good feeling to get hit by a pitch, especially the one that Venaruso just took, which was off the bone. I know that hurts. He's a very strong kid, mentally and physically, of course. And so he's going to stay in the game, and I doubt that he comes out on the defensive half, but I know that hurts. But we do not move our feet. It's a philosophy that we're going to take bases if you give it to us, and being hit by a pitch is one of the ways to get on. So we're not going to move, and we're good at it. Salve is very good at it. Probably top 15 in the country after today's game. I'll get that number for you officially for the next home game.
As the count moves to 1-2 to Beniers.
Beniers looking to keep the inning going, and he won't be able to. So it's up there, called for strike 3. So that will keep the bases loaded to end the inning, but the Seahawks do scratch across a run. After the home run by Tyler Canoe, we head to the top half of the 5th inning with the Seahawks on top at a score of 7-0. And welcome back to Newport, Rhode Island, where you're watching the top half of the fifth of the second game of the doubleheader between the Salve Regina Seahawks and the Clark University Cougars. Nick Santos still out there on the mound for the Seahawks.
As he continues to roll, he's retired 12 straight hitters after walking the leadoff batter.
And he's now up in this count 0-2 after that beautiful curveball. Fell on the inner half of the strike zone, and he gets, foul ball there. That one bounced and then fouled off the bat of the hitter, Ham, who's at the plate.
Now that's impressive.
Certainly rarely seen. Yeah.
Nonetheless, a great pitch from Santo. Great chase pitch. As he throws another one.
And that one will reach for a base hit. So the first hit of the game for the Cougars comes in the fifth inning, which is back-to-back games in today's doubleheader, where the leadoff or the first hit of the game occurs in the fifth inning. Both for Nick Santo and Graham Jeffries, they were carrying, respectively, a perfect game and a no-hitter into the fifth. In the first 4 innings of both of their combined starts, so for Graham Jeffries, his first 4 innings, and Nick Santos' first 4 innings, there were 25 batters faced. 24 of them were retired. Only 1 runner reached in those innings, and it was the leadoff walk that Nick Santo gave up. And during that time, those 8 combined innings, there were 13 strikeouts. So really a great start from both Santo and Jeffries today. I mean, really impressive stuff. This most likely will be Santo's last inning of work. Chris Beach is starting to throw in the Salve Regina bullpen.
As Santo blows this hitter by with a 4-seam fastball.
Yeah, that one was above the zone, and Ham, the catcher, just was not able to catch up to it. Now the 0-1-2 pitch was swung on and missed, and that'll do it for the first out of the inning. Strikeout to Ham.
That was Ryan Lavelle. Ham stands on second. And here we have Billy Sullivan. Steps into the box. As Santo gets set to deliver his 58th pitch of the day. And just like Graham Jeffries, this is officially his longest outing of the season. As Catch picks that up just foul.
Sullivan went to bunt that ball, bunted it down the third base line, but it was foul. Would have been a good bunt. He would have been in there very safely.
As McCarthy is playing a couple steps behind the bag.
We'll see if
Takes
he moves
a couple steps in now.
There he is, moving back in a little bit just to show that he could potentially get there if another bunt goes down off the bat of Sullivan. Here's Santo, has the 1 out, gets strike number 2. So now he's way ahead in this count 0-2. Got a couple pitches to play with. We'll see if he goes with the elevated fastball again. It worked really well for him against Sullivan in his last at-bat, in which he grounded out to the third baseman.
Gave up the 0-2 hit to Ham to start this inning.
This one hit hard right side. There's Petrosino. He chases in. They might test him on the base paths, but they know better. Petrosino throws it back in quickly. I know Petrosino personally, right? He wants somebody to try to tag up from second base to third base on a fly ball hit to right field. He really wants that to happen. Here in this at-bat, or in this game, what we just saw was Ham knowing better, and he stayed put on second base. But Petro really wants to show off that arm because he has a cannon attached to that right shoulder. He just wants to throw a guy out.
Yeah, as an outfielder, there's no better feeling than throwing somebody out at third base or home especially.
He's looking to do that any chance that he gets. Didn't get the opportunity there. Obviously made the catch, threw it back in. Counts 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, swung on, fouled back. We talked about how efficient Santo has been. He's at pitch number 62, and he has 2 outs in the top half of the fifth inning. But it looks as if, regardless a reliever's going to come in, given there's only 2 innings left in this game from a pitching perspective after the end of this inning. And they were looking to get some pitchers involved in today's game, but it just so happened to be that both of our starters, Nick Santo and Graham Jeffries, were phenomenal through the first 4 frames. But Chris Beach is most likely going to be coming into this game in the top half of the 6th. Now the 2-1 pitch swung on, hit right side, but foul. And that evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 outs, and we just heard from the dugout, as we normally do. Win your even, Santo. That's a big philosophy here, as it is for most teams, but it is certainly a big philosophy for the Salve Regina team. Win your evens. This one being the most pivotal. 2-2 pitch. Santo kicks, delivers, swung on, foul back again. There was the cutter.
Yeah, just another cutter that starts at the barrel of his hitter's bat and then just runs right off to the cap.
We'll see if he goes an inside fastball to run off that one.
This is Seneca Hillick-Lonstein. Just got a piece of that one.
Dusty moves back to the shortstop position. There's the, not the slider, although it looks like a slider. It tricks me every time. That's a cutter. A ridiculous amount of break on a cutter.
That's what makes Santo so effective.
Yeah, he has that pitch that he uses like a fastball, but it's just moving so much, and he controls it. Again, 2-2 pitch. Swung on, foul back again. 3 straight foul balls, so Hillick continuing this at-bat.
Santo, a native to Pompano Beach, Florida.
Although he seems to be excelling in the colder weather Rhode Island gives him. 2-2 pitch, swung on, hit, popped up. First baseman Canu is there. He reaches up, and he makes the catch. So that'll do it through 5. Santo has been close to perfect. He has mowed him down, shut out through 5. The Seahawks are on top of a score, 7-0. The bottom half of the 5th coming up when we return. And welcome back to Newport, Rhode Island. Niall Silverman joined alongside by Mike Pizzi. Oh, Matt D'Amato hit by a pitch, make it number 10.
New pitcher in the game for Clark University. Same result. This is Kevin Irwin. Carries a 3.38 ERA through 18 2/3 innings. So he's got a nice sample size. Certainly one of the better relievers in this Clark University bullpen.
You know, there is absolutely no bad blood between these two teams, and nobody in the Salve Regina dugout, including the coaching staff or any players, upset or feels as if they're being targeted. But 10 hit batsmen in the game is unbelievable. That's such a high amount. This one popped up right side. And Dustin Cicada pops out to the first baseman.
Yeah, absolutely, Niall. It's just simply unheard of.
Yeah, you don't see it all that often. If more of these were upper kind of chest or higher of some of these Seahawks, there would just be a problem. You don't like hitting 10 guys in a game, like even if it's intentional or not, is something that does get baseball players riled up. It's never fun to get hit by a pitch, but they've all kind of been like below the belt, hitting thighs, calves, ankles. So no bad blood for sure. Nobody's upset, but it really is crazy how many guys have been hit by a pitch so far today. There goes D'Amato. He's going to be close. He's in there safely. Great stolen base, Matt D'Amato. That's another one of those slides that I feel like Javier Baez, back when he was with the Cubs, really invented, where it's creative ways to get your body so you can still touch the bag but be out of the direct line of a tag. Matt D'Amato with a nice slide, only touching the bag with his left hand as he slid off to the right-hand side of the bag. So a good steal there.
When you're on base as much as D'Amato and you take as many stolen bases as you can, sliding is an art form.
It's a really good way of saying it. Catch pops up again to the first baseman. So back-to-back batters retired via pop out to the first baseman. And now there are 2 outs in this inning pretty quickly. There have only been 5 pitches in this inning. The first one hit D'Amato. The second one in there. Pop up to the first baseman. Stolen base D'Amato. Pop up by catch.
Canoe went yard his last at-bat.
He continues to stretch across that team-leading home run. I guess he has 8 home runs that leads the team. He continues to extend that lead. Brandon Grover took over that spot back when he hit his 6th home run of the year, but then Canoes climbed back from 5 to 8 without Brandon Grover hitting another one. So he is up in the lead by 2 now at 8 home runs. He's in a 1-0 count. If he can get himself into a 2-0 count, I'm sure that he'll try to extend it to 9 and do the impossible. Nobody has hit 2 home runs in a game this season for the Seahawks. Nobody did it last year for the Seahawks. It has been a very long time.
Actually, Michael Breen did against Gordon College. 2 home runs in a game.
Well, I guess it has happened, but it is extremely rare. Tyler Canoe looking to join the company of Michael Breen. This one hit hard, right center field. Back, and over the head of the center fielder. And it will be for extra bases. Tyler Canoe stands on second. He's having a power-hungry day. His second double of the day coming there. He also, of course, had the home run. And he drives in yet another run. Score now 8-0. And Will McCarthy stepping up to the plate.
Another great piece of hitting there from Tyler Canoe. Takes what the pitcher gives him on the outside half of the plate. Just pokes it into the right center gap, right over the head of the center fielder.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. His power today has come to all fields. He had the double to straightaway left, then the home run to left center-ish, but mostly to left field directly, and then this, of course, the RBI double to right center. Now Will McCarthy with a runner in scoring position.
As Irvin bounces the slider.
Irvin came into today's game with an ERA just a hair over 3, but it certainly has gone up here given he faced Salve Regina, who scores their 8th run of the game, their 21st of the day.
McCarthy takes high. 2-0.
McCarthy looking for a fastball inner half. 2-0 pitch. Irwin kicks, delivers, fouled off. McCarthy got the fastball he was looking for, but it was just located on the outside part of the plate. He was looking to pull it.
Looks like Irwin has some late life on that fastball. It's bringing some heat.
Yeah, he has the body for it. Tall right-hander. He is one of the primary relievers. He has 18 innings, 9 appearances. There goes Canoe. He's taken off for third. This one hit, but foul. And Tyler Canoe will have to back it up all the way to second base. Well, just like that, the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There are the 2 outs with a runner on second. Everyone has his set. Checks Canoe. He kicks, deliver the 2-2 pitch outside, and Canoe holds off. Well, now here we go. I think what we're chasing changes. The Seahawks have been scoring double-digit runs quite frequently. They're looking to do it again here in this game. And it will have to wait until a later inning. Will McCarthy strikes out swinging, and that will do it for the bottom half of the fifth, but not before a run scores on the Tyler Canoe double.
7-8-9 due up for Clark University.
Top six on the way. And welcome back to the top half of the sixth. Nick Santos' day is done and into the game to pitch for the Seahawks. Number 33, Chris Beach Jr., and he will be facing 9-1-2. First pitch he pitches is hit into right field and cut off by the center fielder, Jared Beniers. They're going to stretch it, potentially. They do not. They hold off. Petrosino picked up the ball and fired it back in. And the number 9 hitter, Jones, retreats back to first base. So one pitch, one base hit.
Yeah, from Chris Beach, you're going to see a high 90s fastball with a wipeout slider. And he looks like he's bringing it heat today. See if he can settle down after that leadoff hit.
High 80s fastball. Did I say that? And a great pitch there from Beach up in the zone. Swing and a miss pitch. Beach is one of those guys, similar to Graham Jeffries and Dom Parachi, that will generate a good amount of swing and miss pitches over the course of his outing on any given day. Here he is in a 1-1 count. Check over to first. Pitch is in. They're hit right side. Could be two. There's Veneruso. Tough hop. Really tough hop for Veneruso. A 4-bouncer that just came up as he was running to his left. Most likely it will be an error on the second baseman, Chris Veneruso, but a very tough play nonetheless. Not a routine error, although that doesn't help.
This brings up the 2-hitter, Caulfield, Ryan Caulfield. It's over 2 on his day. And Chris Beach will have the lefty-lefty matchup.
First pitch popped up. Very high left field, but out of play. As D'Amato shows off his jumping abilities. He gave a Jordan-esque jump strictly for the attempt. He got at least 1.5 feet off the ground. Athletic move by the left fielder. 0-1 pitch here from Beach. Check second. Fires home. Great slider.
Just off the outside corner. for a ball.
Chris Beach comes into the game to relieve Nick Santo, and Nick Santo had nothing short of an outstanding performance. He went 5 innings in which he gave up 0 earned runs on 1 hit and 1 walk, and he struck out 6 along the way, and he did so in less than 70 pitches. If he wanted to go again on Saturday, he could. Unbelievable stuff from Nick Santo in a back-to-back really good outings for him. He has now been shut out for his last 9 innings on the field, only allowing 2 hits during that time. So he is really having his way with hitters on opposing teams.
You really can't say enough about the job Nick Santo did today. Not only did he give us a quality start, but, you know, the offense really fed off the energy he brought to the table in the first few innings, and they were able to put up 8 runs because of him.
This one hit hard, center field. It's down for a hit. They're going to send the runner from third. It's going to be close. Play to the plate, cut off, and they hold the runners at first and second. But the runner from second did end up going home and scoring. So that is the first run of the game and the second run of the day for Clark University. And now Chris Beach is in a bit of a jam. Runners on first and second. He's facing his 4th hitter of the day, of the inning.
And the power-hitting Radovic batting in the 3-hole. He starts him off with the slider in the dirt. Nice stop by Catch there.
Yeah, we'll see if some of the hitters from Clark University on a dirt ball decide to test Dylan Ketch by taking off and going to third. I don't see them doing that, as the strategy just doesn't really imply that they would try it. But nonetheless, if they do, I'd love to see that matchup with number 6 trying to take off against Dylan Ketch.
You know, it's very possible you have a tall right-hander in the box. If Clark wanted to put a play on, they certainly could, but down 7 runs, I'm not sure they will.
Another slider from Beach just inside, down at the feet of Radovic.
True back foot slider.
Those ones are great when you're up in the count. A little bit tougher to get the swings you want when you're down in the count. This one swung on and missed. There's that fastball. Electric stuff above the hands. And that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll see if they go back to the slider again here now that he just changed the eye level with the fastball. Beach has it set, the 2-2 pitch. He kicks, delivers.
Just low.
It was the fastball. This right here is one of the reasons why Chris Beach really wants to get ahead. He's most likely, almost definitely going to go to the fastball here, and Radovic knows it. And it's hit sharply into left field. It's going to be down, and Duran is going to score from third. Matt D'Amato shows off the arm, but it's to prevent Caulfield from getting to third. So another run scores. And that right there, no matter who's pitching for which team on any given day, that right there is why it's important to get ahead in counts for relievers, because Chris Beach is a wipeout slider, high 80s fastball guy. And given that one of the better hitters in his lineup, Radovic, knew that was coming, or I guess knew the situation and knew that Chris Beach had missed with the last 2 sliders that he threw, he could really, really make an educated guess, and in baseball terms, he could know that Chris Beach was going to go with a fastball there, and he just sat on it and he drilled into the left field. So that will do it for Chris Beach in his day-to-day, but that lets us get another look at a righty reliever, I believe.
It's Tommy Delvecchio.
And that's our captain. We'll give Tommy a chance to get warm, and we will join you when he is ready. And welcome back to the top half of the sixth. Tommy Del Vecchio takes over, runners on first and second, and nobody out. As I've said before, Tommy Del Vecchio has been the definition of one of those guys. He's a captain. He's a captain for a reason. 1.64 ERA on the season for him. 1.42 ERA on the season for him, so even better than I thought. And he also has, in 12 innings of work, 13 strikeouts. And he's given up just 12 hits, allowing only 2 earned runs to score during that time. So really impressive stuff from Tommy Del Vecchio. But he's got a tall order for him here, because things are a bit more manageable for this Clark University squad. They're down by 5, runners on first and second, nobody out in the 6th inning. Keep in mind, this is a 7-inning game, so this is the equivalent of the 8th.
Yeah, Tommy does an excellent job holding runners on, especially limiting runs and limiting base hits. So this is a perfect situation for him to get the Seahawks out of the big jam, late in the game especially.
On one pitch, Tommy gets his sign, kicks, delivers. It's the slider. Sharp break, but off the plate away.
Tommy was originally recruited as a shortstop here at Salve and converted into a sidearm pitcher.
Great slider from Tommy.
Safe to say he is extremely effective at his new position.
Yeah, he has been killing it this season, truly killing it. Will garner all-conference attention, to say the least. Here he comes here. He's got 2 strikes, 1-2 count to the 4-hole hitter. And the pitch, another slider swung on and missed. They called in Tommy Del Vecchio to do one job, and that was to get out of a jam. How do you do that? Nobody out. 2 runners on. It's strikeouts. Big-time spot and a big-time play by a big-time player. Big strikeout for Tommy Del Vecchio.
You're absolutely right, Niall. That puts the double play in order to get us out of this inning.
Ham at the plate now. He had the first hit back last inning, and he pops this one up, but foul.
Nice slider there from Tommy.
Commanding his slider, as he has all season. It's like there are certain players on this team who command their slider in the way that, let's say, a high school kid commands his fastball. I think the elevation from high school to college is commanding 2 pitches, and then potentially from there being elite is commanding 3, or having your second pitch be a plus pitch, like Tommy's slider is. But he has a true command of his slider. Like, he knows where he wants it, and he's able from 60 feet away to put the ball where he wants it to go in the catcher's mitt just by throwing it there. So it's really impressive how well he's able to command the slider. Does it again here. This one's popped up right side. Tyler Canoe's there. He reaches up, and he makes the play. It was an infield fly, though, regardless, with runners on first and second. So just like that, Tommy Del Vecchio's come in and has executed literally perfectly the strikeout and the pop-up, the 2 ways to prevent runners from advancing. I mean, you can't draw it up any better than this, and now Tommy Del Vecchio is 1 batter away from getting out of this inning completely unscathed and retiring both of what are called bequeathed runners that he inherited.
Here's Ryan Lavelle now. He's 0 for 2 on his day with 2 strikeouts. And Tommy picks apart that outside part of the zone.
Given he's not a vertical guy, which is to say he doesn't have a vertical breaking ball and his fastball moves horizontally, the amount of 2-seam break he gets is off the charts, especially when it goes along with his slider. Here he is, the 0-1 pitch. It is the slider, hit right side. There's Veneruso. He's there. Makes the play, throws to first in time. Tommy Del Vecchio, can't say enough good things about him. In that inning, he goes 1-2-3. That retires Clark University here in the top half of the 6th. And the Seahawks are looking to get their last hitters to the plate as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The score, 8-3. And welcome back to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Tyler Petro leads it off. I'm now Silverman, joined alongside by Mike Pizzi. And we are getting a chance to look at the left-handed power hitter right fielder, Tyler Petrosino. He has 3 home runs on the year, but he is due for many more over the rest of his career. He is only a sophomore. And he gets plunked again. That's 11, and that's the second time that he's been hit on the low back. So he's going to take his time. And, of course, we're not upset as a team about the fact that that's the 11th time he's been hit by a pitch, but it's not certainly something that we like to see. He does appear fine. My concern was that he got hit in the low back on the spine. It looked like it was a bit off of it. He does seem fine. He's holding it a little bit. It'll be a bruise, but it's nothing. Yeah, he's walking completely fine. So Tyler Petro's totally fine. That's the good news. The bad news is that's the 11th batter hit, or the 11th time a batter has been hit by a pitch in today's, I guess, doubleheader. This one swung on, hit right side. This is Neal, Matthew Neal, but the right fielder's there, and he makes the catch. I believe that was Matthew Neal.
Yes, it was. He was pinch hitting. And now we have the chance to look at a new pitcher, Casey Gorsica. Carries a 2.0 ERA through 9 innings. So he seems to be extremely effective out of this Clark University bullpen.
Exactly right. Statistically, he is the best reliever.
Now here's Kyle Platt pinch hitting.
So
he got a base hit in the last game.
Yes, he did. Played a great defensive role in one of the innings where he was a part of every out between the 6-4-3 and the ground out to second. Now he has a chance to hit here. The first pitch he takes, and that gives Tyler Petrosino a chance to show off the wheels. And I'll tell you what, that may not have been a called steal. That might have just been Tyler Petrosino saying to Kyle Platt, look at me, I'm very fast, because I know there's a rivalry between those two of who's the fastest, and Petro just showed it off.
And he was in there easily.
Yes, and he had to make Platt hold off of the pitch because of the good jump that he got. So I'm sure that there's some competitive, and another guy hit by a pitch. Kyle Platt takes first base after the 12th player hit by a pitch today. That brings up number 25, Jared Beniers.
That is the 10th hit batsman of this game alone.
Crazy stuff. Here's Jared Beniers, starting center fielder of today's game. He's got runners on first and second with nobody out. First pitch that he sees, well off the plate away.
Speed on the bases, to say the least.
Yeah, to say the least. And speed at the plate. Jared Beniers obviously up there in that category. He's also one of the fastest players on the team. Speed.
And on deck.
Oh, this one hit shortstop. Good job by Petrosino. Really good job by Petrosino. Oh, it's close.
It looked like he was in there from the booth.
So Kyle Platt is thrown out at second. What it turns out to eventually be is a fielder's choice. Petrosino advances to third. On first base is Jared Beniers. But what happened in that play that was exciting is that the ball is hit to the shortstop. Petrosino stops to block the shortstop's view of the baseball. He then literally jumps over the ball that's coming for him, just messes with the eyes of the shortstop. He blunders it slightly, re-picks it up, throws it to second. And by the time that he threw it to second, well, it doesn't matter now. Ball hit right field. It's in there. Matt D'Amato base hit, single on the first pitch that he saw.
Another well-executed hit and run by the Seahawks.
Beautifully done RBI single for Matt D'Amato. He finally reaches base on a base hit. That's his 6th time on base today, only his 2nd hit. So great day for him. His on base is going through the roof after today's game. Petrosino jumps over the ball, and by the time that Platt got to second, it was super close. Platt got thrown out. I had him as safe due to the wheels that he has and the great baseball IQ of Tyler Petrosino. Nonetheless, we get our run this inning via the single by Matt D'Amato.
Score moves to 9-2.
And that brings up Dustin Cicada.
And on the hit and run, Beniers, first to third. Now Dustin's at the plate. Bingo on third. And Matt D'Amato on first.
Here's the pitch. Casey's pitch popped up, out of play. D'Amato was stealing. He'll have to return back to first base. Count evens up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Cicada looking to advance the runner from third any way he can. This will do it. Pop up, right field. May it get down? It will. Rounding second and getting to third easily is Matt D'Amato on the pop-up that got down in between the Bermuda Triangle of first, second, and right field.
Nonetheless, it's an RBI single for Dustin.
Yeah, big-time RBI single for Dustin Cicada. His average is going to go up after today. Like so many of the players on this field right now for the wearing blue, the Seahawks are just pounding the pitchers in so many ways. And with that run right there, RBI from Dustin Cicada, the Seahawks have scored double digits yet again, continuing an unbelievable stretch of games, including the 7-game winning streak they are currently on, looking to turn it into 8 after today's game, where they only have one more frame to go through after this one. And they have put up 10 runs or more so many times, and they're going to continue to add runs. Dylan Ketch lined to right field, and that will score D'Amato and put Dustin Cicada over on third base. So just trading positions. First and third again for the power hitting right-hander playing first base. It's Tyler Canoe.
And with that hit, Dylan Ketch extends his hitting streak.
Yes, he does.
Canoe hit a home run earlier in this game. And a long double to right center field.
Yeah, his last 2 at-bats have been a ball blasted to left field for a home run and a ball blasted to center for a double. Both of them run producing. Obviously, the home run producing. And the double was an RBI double. He now has his 1-0 count. Pitch to him, swung on, belted left field. If it's fair, oh, not fair. Just foul.
Canoe covered that baseball,
to say the least.
He's got a 1-1 count. Looking to do some damage.
Yeah, unlike his home run back in the earlier innings, that one was on a line.
Just at the kneecaps. Must have just caught the bottom of the zone there.
Yeah, just catching the bottom of the zone. The count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Canoe might have to shorten up now, although with the lead they have, he may not decide to shorten up and could still swing for the gaps. He hits this one high, right side, but the right fielder's going to be there. He's under it. Oh, he dropped it! Oh, no. A blunder like no other, really. It was a can of corn, and he dropped it. So well, I guess it continues to do the job that had been done twice in a row before that, and now it happened again. When that at-bat started, Dylan Ketch was at first base, Dustin Cicada was at third base, and before that it was D'Amato at third base and Cicada at first. Whatever. Basically, runners on first and third for the 4th straight at-bat right now. So the Seahawks are just pounding this half of the inning. They put up 4 in this half of the inning already, and there's room for more, but that was a 2-out error by dropping the ball in right field, so you do hate to see that. Nonetheless, the Seahawks will take it. They're up 12-3. This one hits shortstop. Shortstop has it, throws it to second, and that will do it. But the Seahawks pick up 4 in a sloppy bottom half of the 6th inning, and we head to the top half of the 7th as we try and shut them out and shut them down. The Seahawks looking to end it.
Will Tierney coming on.
And welcome back to the top half of the 7th. Before anything else, we have to say shout out to the fans who showed up there in center field, and they have a massive cutout of center fielder Jared Beniers. It's just his head, and it is massive. Well done by our student section to have provided that. Well done. Will Tierney's on the mound now for the Seahawks. He just threw a first pitch strike, making a second pitch strike. He's up in the count 0-2.
Both swings and misses.
You'd love to see that. This is his third appearance of the year, and he's looking to end this one for the Seahawks on a ridiculously offensive, productive day. Did he go? And he did. Strike 3, Will Tierney. All 3 swing and misses, and he got him on the check swing. Sullivan goes down swinging. In the 12 innings that the Seahawks have played today offensively, they have put up 25 runs. So they are averaging more than 2 runs per inning.
Did that catch a piece of the umpire? Looks to be a little shaken up back there.
It certainly did.
From center field, you can't really tell other than the reactions.
Yeah, the umpire is visibly shaken up on the, behind here. He's on his hands, or his hands are on his knees. And you have to be concerned anytime it's taking this long. He's not doing it to milk it. Like, he really is feeling it for sure. Hope he's all right.
I mean, if that, 86-mile-an-hour fastball caught him square in the helmet, that's going to hurt. Just got to hope he's not concussed.
For sure.
Seems to be okay as Will delivers another swing and miss.
Yeah, it makes it easier on the umpire when the batters are swinging and not able to connect. That's the 4th swing and miss out of 5 pitches for Will Tierney. 6 pitches, 5 swing and misses. Unbelievable. It's a really short order, but that is, 5 is good for an entire start going 6 innings. So he has 5 in his first 6 pitches. Good job, Will Tierney, otherwise known as Gurr.
Making the most out of his opportunity here.
For sure. Let's see what he's able to do
pitcher.
here. Oh, that's there. Beautiful.
He got him.
Beautiful slider, inner half. Got him looking. Back-to-back strikeouts. The Benier fan group has moved from deep center to right center. An eventful group, to say the least. Number 24 just moves out of the way. So unlike the Seahawks, who stay in there and take those off the shoulder, he moves out of the way, gives Will Tierney another shot at this at-bat. Counts 1-0. This one swung on, popped up. This could do it. Kyle Platt and Canoe all over. Canoe's under it. He reaches up, and he makes the catch. So that'll do it for the Seahawks here today. And they just had one of the bigger blowouts on a doubleheader day in team history as we get the wave goodbye from Kyle Platt. The final score of today's games into 7-inning ball games, 25-4. The Seahawks took this one. The keys to success, you got to go with the starting pitchers, Nicholas Santo and Graham Jeffries, who were perfect through 4 innings. Graham literally perfect in the baseball sense, and Nicholas Santo, of course, allowed only 1 base hit or 1 base runner during that time. That really was the key to success. What else was the key to success today, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely, Niall. The pitching was just impeccable today, but, you can't forget about the timely hitting and just piecing together at-bats after at-bat. This offense really took advantage of all the miscues that Clark University had, including their errors, all the hit by pitches, the walks. But not only that, we had, over 20-something hits today, and we really played some good team baseball.
Exactly right. Team baseball and great starting pitching is a recipe for success so often, and it was again here today. The Seahawks take 2. They improved their season record at 24-9-2, and their win streak goes to 8. The Seahawks are hopefully playing tomorrow against Framingham State, and otherwise we are getting ourselves prepared for the series of the season against Endicott at home this upcoming Saturday. We hope to see you there for that. It is an all-deciding series. We could love all the fan support we could get. Anyways, thanks for joining us today on the broadcast. We saw some beautiful baseball, and it was a pleasure to be with you. Niall Silverman joined by Mike Petsy, signing off. See you soon.